Hello, welcome to what's new in Microsoft 365 and Copilot for May 2024. I'm Mark from supersimple365.com and these are the apps that I'm going to be taking you through. Now there's so much more over on the blog, so go and have a look at the notes, follow the link and then you can read all about it. Maybe you want to keep up with updates over the month, so over on X and Threads and LinkedIn, go and subscribe over there and you'll get these updates as they happen. Folks, so we're going to start with Copilot and PowerPoint Copilot. The feature Create Presentation from File is gaining this new ability to use protected and encrypted Word documents. Before now, you'd get an error message, but that's about to change. Now, if the source file has got a higher level than the presentation that you're using, then the output will gain the sensitivity level if it's higher in the Word document in the source. Hopefully that makes sense. Folks, that is due early to late June this year. Next up, we've got Draft with Copilot in Microsoft Word based on text, list or table selection. So let's just have a look here. Let's just set the scene a little bit. So at the moment, if I highlight some text that's on my Word document, these are the options that I get. So I can write a prompt, auto rewrite or visualize that as a text. If I click on a blank area, I get this option over on the left over here, the draft with Copilot. But what if I want to draft based on some text that's already there? So I don't want to rewrite it, I just want to create a draft based on that. I'm getting a new option in here down the right hand side. I get a new option here to draft with Copilot, so I can select the text and then use that draft feature. That, folks, should be with us by August, and it'll be in all versions of Word. They'll appear in that order, so Word web first on your desktop, and then Mac and iPad. That looks like a great update, and it's coming soon. Okay, next up we've got access to Copilot app in Outlook. So I'm going to tell you straight away that this is not really about Outlook. This is just somewhere else for Copilot to appear. So you can see where it's going to appear there in Outlook. The experience you get is the same as if you went to copilot.microsoft.com and then you did the little slider for your work experience. That is what you're going to see inside Outlook. So you can see there it's not really about Outlook at all. It's more about just Copilot surfacing somewhere else. And folks, you should see that by early May. Okay, so let's have a look at lists. So I'm going to tell you straight away, folks, that this is causing a few issues around. But let's just start at the beginning. Microsoft SharePoint lists, so the list that's in SharePoint, is receiving updates that the Lists app saw last year, including improved performance, see who's collaborating with you, forms. So here's a quick screenshot from lists in SharePoint and that forms feature. I love this new forms feature for lists. Anyway, drag and drop images to a list. Now these issues that it's causing, so the user interface, it's really upsetting a lot of people. Things are changing. People say the JSON's breaking. People are getting it at different points. So I know someone who does some training for their area, and their experience is different to what other people are seeing, and you can't switch back. So that's really messing things up. So interesting that the update that I'm referring to doesn't include some of the changes that people are seeing. Hopefully they'll be documented and they'll come out. But yeah, there's something. If anyone knows what's happening is a document anywhere with a full list of the changes that's coming to SharePoint list, please put it in the comments, because it's I'm struggling to get my head around all of the changes that are coming. I know the gist of it, but I'd love a definitive list. So if you can help out, that'd be great, folks. Anyway, at least we'll all be on the same version by late June. Okay, so let's have a quick look at OneDrive. So this is, it says at the top, coming to OneDrive. Actually, it's already here. Go to OneDrive Online, clicking Add New. You're going to get this new experience now where you can create with a template. Now, I'm not exactly super creative. You could probably tell that from my slides. So the ability to have a look at some templates looks quite welcome. You can see here that I've got a choice where I create it. So I can create it in my files, which is where my OneDrive stuff lives, or I can push it to Teams or SharePoint. Folks, that is available for you right now. Definitely worth you having a look. What else have we got? This is another one that is available now. So message formatting. So all the updates that I talk about with Outlook seem to be coming to the online version and the new version that's in Windows. So thinking about this conditional formatting, the work hours and location, the enhancements to that recently, the ability to the ability to set up a meeting as an in-person meeting. You got the slider there. The ability to respond to a meeting and say that you can't make it, but you want to follow, and that functionality. It's all coming to the new version of Outlook and online. Anyway, here's another one. So I can now set conditional formatting in the browser version. Now I know that you can do this kind of stuff in the desktop version, but it's new to the Outlook, the browser version of Outlook. So what have we got? Choose from 25 colors, and it's online and the new version only. Let's have a closer look at this. So you can see I've gone to the online version. In the top right hand corner, I've clicked on the cog. I've gone to email, conditional formatting. Now I can start give my name my role and name. I can start looking at these conditions, and I can start stacking them as well. Choose a color, and it looks quite nice, folks. That's available to you now. Go and check that out. And if you want easier access to Outlook online, go to Outlook in the Edge browser. Click on the three little dots in the top right hand corner. Click on apps and then add it as an app. Tell it to auto start for you, and it's just a nice easy way to get into it. Anyway, let's go and see what is happening over in SharePoint. So a new SharePoint starter experience is coming. So let's just start clicking through this. Simplified site and page creation. And we're going to have this hub for managing your drafts, reviewing your work. It looks quite nice, doesn't it? I'm looking forward to seeing the final version and just how useful it is. But if nothing else, that is a pretty screen. Folks, you should have that by the end of June. Going over to stream. Oh my gosh, how long have I been talking about this update? So I think it's got to be 6 months, right? Talking about adding a hyperlink or a text call out to a video at specific times, adding a survey and forms and that sort of stuff. Now, you might recognize this from the old version of Stream. When that went away, then we couldn't have this functionality. But look at the screen here. So I have gone to a video, clicked on interactivity, and now I can add a form. So maybe, folks, at the start of a video, you want to ask people what their understanding of the topic is at the start. Maybe you're going to get a 4 out of 10 or whatever. And at the end, ask the same question again, and hopefully it's gone up a few points. A really good way to look at the benefit of the videos that you're creating if you're into training. Maybe call outs. So maybe you're talking about a particular topic, and if people want to read more, they click on your call out on the screen and it jumps them off to there. So great functionality, folks, and it is finally here, and you will never have to look at these updates again from me for these two features. Let's move on to Teams. And our first one is organizers are to be prompted to create loop workspaces for recurring meetings. So I'd love to know what IT departments and areas thinking about this, people behind the scenes. Anyway, let's see what we've got. So we've got these recurring meetings with 3 to 50 invitees coming along. When the meeting finishes, I'm going to be prompted to create this workspace. You can see here I've gone one step further on this screenshot. So you get a little prompt after the meeting saying, do you want to create this workspace? And then you start deciding what's going to go into it. Folks, that is due mid-May to June. I'd love to know how this is going to pan out. I guess as Loop gains more traction, I guess it'd be useful, but well, we'll see. Honestly, I'm not really sure what I think about it, but we'll see. See how that pans out, folks. Anyway, let's see how that is, and you can have that by June this year. Organizers can manage access to meeting assets. It might be, folks, that you're running a meeting and you actually don't want everybody to be able to have the access to the transcript and everything else. Maybe you have a very controlled meeting, or you have controlled distribution of information. You want to keep it to yourself. Then maybe you're going to do something with it and then share it out. You don't want people to have the raw version. So you've got some options. So you can set it to everybody, the organizer and the co-organizers, or specific people. Let's have a closer look at this. So you can see here, I've gone into my meeting options. recording and transcription. Who has access to the recording and transcription? And there's some other stuff on here as well. You can see, but I'm just going to focus on this middle one. Those are the options that you've got. Specific people, predictably, they've got to be invited for you to be able to choose them here, a bit like presenters. Folks, that looks like a useful little update, and you should have it by late June this year. What else have we got? This update wins the award for the most boring slide of the session. So channel cards. So imagine that you've got someone new joining your team and you've got quite a lot of channels and they're just getting a feel for what the different areas and different teams, different projects are. What a great way then being able to have these channel cards that give a description, they show the activity, the team name, their membership. I think this would be a really useful way for people, newcomers, just to get an idea of what's going on in teams. A nice quick entry for notifications, settings and channel management. You should have this by late July. So a small update, but I think that's going to be quite good, especially for people who are new to your team. Notification suppression for hidden Teams channels. And before I go on, next month I'll be telling you about a similar piece of functionality for hidden chats. But let's get back to this one. So currently you receive notifications from hidden channels. So we've hidden it and it's now going to quiet it down. This notification suppression will stop these notifications. You still get personal, so at mentions and tag mentions, but folks, these are just going to be a little bit quieter. I really like the look of this because Teams can be a little bit noisy, can't it? And this is just another way to focus the content that you want just to the things that really matter to you. So this is a great update. Should be with us mid-June to early July. Teams message reactions added to the right-click menu. So I like to interact a lot with messages in the workplace. What I don't like having to do is to go and find the three little dots, or to click over here, or click on it. The option to give an emoji or respond to it is always in that place over there. Actually, what I want is just to be able to right click anywhere on the message, and this menu that I see here, it's going to get those emojis at the top. So it's a little bit clunky. It's a little bit clunky at the moment, but this is going to be a little bit slicker. So right click, give a thumbs up, give a heart, a smiley face, whatever. Folks, mid to late June, so a small but perfectly formed update. File image previews in Microsoft Teams messages. So look at the screen here. So maybe someone has shared some files with me, and to save me having to go in and have a look or see whether it matters to me, at a glance I'm going to be able to see what's in there, and I can focus on the things that matter, and I can open the ones that really matter to me. It's for the typical type of Office documents that you see on the screen there and PDFs, but more content is coming soon. So if you've got multiple images, you have the view you see now on the screen, and you can scroll through them. It won't be shown if they're confidential, and that's quite right, isn't it? So it won't be shown so people can't look over your shoulder and see what they are. Folks, due early June this year. The notify when available feature has been returned to Teams. So you had this in old Teams. So maybe you're trying to get hold of your boss or whatever, and they're kind of in and out of meetings. You can right click on them, click notify when available. Then that will pop up and it'll tell you when they are available. You can go into Team settings, notifications and activity, and you can add people there, or you can turn it off. Folks, I was talking about this to a large group of people yesterday, and what came up was the ability for it to be misused. Let's say that someone in the workplace that's got an inappropriate interest in somebody, the ability just to keep track and see when they're available. And the inability, now if this is available, I don't know it, but don't know about it, please put it in the comments. How do I know who's tracking me and following me? Is there any way for me to know that? Because I think from a privacy point of view, the fact that someone knows when I'm back off a break, or come back on, or I log on in the morning, and I don't know who's watching that, that doesn't seem right to me. And also the ability for someone to misuse it, who's got an inappropriate interest in somebody, without the person knowing, just seems it just seems wrong. I must be missing something, right? I must be missing the ability for me to see who is following and tracking me. So if anyone can help out with that, please put that in the comments, because I know a lot of people who'd like to know, who'd know about that. Folks, that became available a little time ago, and go and check that out if that's of interest to you. Quickly attach recent and relevant files to chats and channel posts. So folks, you know that across Microsoft 365, the graph knows lots of stuff that's going on, the things that I've opened, who I work with, the things that I'm putting in chat. Anyway, here's an extension of that. And I've talked about this before, but I'm just telling you about it because it's available. In this chat here, we have said we're going to send somebody the attach vision doc. So I click on the attach icon here, and the system knows that 23 days ago I opened a document with that name. That's probably what I want to share, right? So it's these are contextually relevant files, so it relates to the content, the context of what I'm talking about at the time. That, folks, is available now, and is actually pretty useful. It's easy to overlook it, but next time you click on attach, look at this pop-up and see whether it's offering you the right file. It might be. Okay, share colleague contact information in Microsoft Teams chat. Another one that's available now, and is actually quite useful. So I've got quite a common name. So in the UK, my name is pretty common, and I occasionally receive stuff that maybe isn't for me. Now, in a Teams chat, somebody could do the curly @ sign, and they could start searching for me. They could add my details. Now, I won't be mentioned or notified, but it's not giving away anything that's private to me, so I don't mind that. And there you go. You can see that it's somebody's card in that chat. You can see it's a card. I click on the details, and then I can make sure I'm contacting the right person. Folks, that's available now, and it's quite a nice little update. Now, start of the month. So, what do I think is the absolute best update from May? Brace yourself, folks. This is epic. Teams is getting a draggable presenter toolbar when screen sharing. So I do a lot of screen sharing, and quite often I want to go to the top of my screen. I want to flick between different tabs in Edge because I'm showing different features, and this annoying toolbar keeps appearing, and I have to drive it down. I know that you can hide it, but you can get rid of it, but it's a bit of a one-way street, and getting it back is difficult. Anyway, folks, it's about to end, so I'm soon going to be able to drag it out of the way. In this example here, folks, you can see that it's kind of in the way. I've got my tabs behind, and when I try to go to a new one, it keeps popping up. So not as helpful as I might like, but I can drag it out of the way. It will collapse after 4 seconds. This is so great. When I shared this on social media and a couple of places at work, people love it. There you go. I even wrote down how much I love this update. Folks, due mid to late June, this cannot come soon enough. There you go. We've come to the end of this session together. Make sure you follow on the socials, subscribe on YouTube, and I guess I'll catch you next month.